Wait, I'm an idiot. Actually, this achieves the exact same thing in the end. So, I misclicked, but whatever. Yeah, I could have gotten way more though if I... Actually, yeah, no. Be still. Alright, we're gonna banish. That guy has a graveyard effect, so basically I'm using up all of my negates here if I try to do this. Like, at the same time, I really don't have a choice. Ah, they're playing Centurion. And this is their normal summon. I am just gonna have to hope this'll do it, because either way, this is sort of like our best choice. Yeah, they still had more. But like I said, getting that search would have been far worse. This is the most we can do. Unfortunate. The Ghost Sisters don't really do much here. Droll and Locke also isn't all that useful. This hand's pretty good. Did they brick and now they're giving up? That does still happen with Centurion. Why it's not classified as a meta deck. Shame. Makes me want to play Centurion now. Why is my Centurion banned? Oh, right. I meant to edit this. I'll be sure to edit it later. I think gold is gonna be where I'm stuck for the most part. High five. Ah, this hand'll do it. Actually, no, I don't have Ecclesia, so this card is useless. And tour guide. Oh, I see. Goblins. Extra Foolish Burial could be a good card to include in Voiceless Dogma. As a deck that barely uses the extra deck for special summoning. With Dynamondo being there for niche scenarios where I might be able to link summon. This hand is genuinely dog shit, actually. I could just scoop here and hide information about my deck. I basically don't need to see this combo go through anyways as well, but I'm not interested in playing to win here anymore. Honestly, I kinda just want to see how far I can go. But by the looks of things, I don't think I'll be able to go anywhere. A Pot of Extravagance still reveals quite a lot about what kind of strategy we're on. They did all of that with one card. They actually went +1 on all in all that hand-wise. Realistically, they got more than just a +1. Oh my god, Ghost Ogre's a psychic? I thought she was a zombie like every other girl. Oh, it's my turn. Alright. We have no choice but to start with this. What did we lose? We weren't gonna draw with those anyways. Oh. I believe I can get away with a normal summon of Diviner. I'm trying to force them to waste resources on card effects. On effects I know don't necessarily need. Technically, their only interaction is Bigabonga, but Masquerena can always link into a fucking bullshit. Oh god, they're still thinking. Okay, I'm really... Okay, can they negate this? They don't have anything, so... This gives away what I've got. Oh my god! Holy shit! Hand or field? I didn't know this. Unfortunately, that kinda kills me, so... We just scoop here. They know we're on fucking bullshit now. What can we do? Our side deck is purely all going second cards, so... That's fantastic. Okay then, this sucks. Solid. That was pretty much our entire extra deck gone in an instant. Why would they discard? I don't have any Garuras to send. Sure, activate it. Chain block. Ah, just another copy of itself. That sucks. There's our monster effect. Oh shit. They have all of their starters. Genuinely, this hand, both of our hands fucking sucked. Let's just scoop. I'm not winning against those cards. Straight up. I'm a little unhappy. Cannot set spell traps. Is that really that big of a deal? I don't really believe so. We don't set any back row. We activate immediately. Like at the same time, 3 Nadir Servant should do it. Let's go Ecclesia. Why are you everywhere? Aren't you like branded as well? Now that if I'm remembering right. Oh wow, what the fuck? appears that was their only interaction. The one I should have chain blocked was low, but not punished. They surrendered. Why, you got your Diabell star. More importantly, how? I should change my side deck. Okay, yep, they're on Snake Eyes. They're gonna add Snake Eyes here. Yeah, I mean, we're on Perulia right now, so... We can afford to be trigger happy. Alright, they're locked out of Fire King now. So they're pivoting to Azamina instead. I believe that's the last time they'll ever special summon from the hand. Nope, they've got one more. That is very unfortunate. They can't possibly pass here. Because they're ending on literally nothing. Oh, nope, they're ending on nothing. Is that the worst they've got? Because honestly, I don't care. Alright, Diviner isn't all that important anymore. They're gonna negate it. Let them. Yep. I tell ya, you should have just played your entire thing. Although, that was a maxi situation there. They play, they lose. They don't play, which that's what they did. They lost. I think we can get rid of Ultimate Slayers. I think I'm perfectly fine with Kaijus. Or you know what? 2 Kaijus, 2 Ultimate Slayers. Don't care about Dogmatica Punishment. It still gives us 5 cards to put on the side deck. That being said, I still have absolutely no idea what to put on the side deck. I do know I want more hand traps. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hand traps on our name. And I like having to like 30% of my deck to be non-engine / protection. I like to go to 75, 80% hand trap, 20% within that 30% ratio, 20% protection. In which case that would be 10 hand traps and 5 in a 45 size. And then a 6 and 4, or 6 and 3 if we're on 40. Or 7 and like 3 actually, I think, or maybe 8. Can't go wrong with the one-off effect Veiler. We can just go cross out Designator again, but unlike Drytron, this deck doesn't die as hard to Droll and lock. Just Dimension Shifter. Maybe Nibiru, scary. Good going first cards. What have we for going first? All I can think of are floodgates. Let me look at other people's lists for voiceless. Maybe that'll get me inspired. Oh, and I'm also supposed to look at Centurion decks. Jack shit is loading. It's Dogmatica voiceless. This guy's straight up running pretty much the exact same things I'm doing. And the Dominus cards would be useful. solemn, just the solemn package. It's a locals deck list. Summon limit in the main deck. This was a best of one format OCG tournament. Voiceless Fiendsmith. Now that's terrifying. This one's purely the side deck is built around tournaments. Ghost Sister Spooky Dogwood is there. It's a bit boring, but can't really come up with anything else. Just 4 cards. Or maybe we can just go 3 and I can still have my 3 of kaijus. Oh, this thing revives Synchros back. That is very good. shirt.
Now, but that is just more of a testament to how crazy Yu-Gi-Oh has gotten that a card like this is legal and it's totally fine. But this is a card that if you show this to any or they will probably have more flashbacks because this card is traumatizing for anyone who's born in the early. Incredible card, very very good.
Yeah, okay,
very good.
Yeah.
But it was funny because I thought this would be interesting to show you because of your thought process of everything's free. This has to be locked to a specific deck, and you have to have this exact number of cards to be able to play this in the first place. Because you might think that, oh, there's going to be the payoff's there, but I might not be able to play it, so it's sure to go. So, let's see if we can get you back on track with this card.
Last Will. It's a spell. If a monster on your side of the field was sent to your graveyard this turn, you can special summon one monster with an attack of 1,500 points or less from your deck once during this turn, then shuffle your deck. Monster on your side of the field sent to your graveyard this turn. You can special summon one monster with attack 15 or less from your deck. The tutor. It goes and gets the thing that is either situational or part of your combo. Why wouldn't this be busted? Let's see. A monster.
Rethink everything after Dad.
If a monster on your side was sent to the graveyard this turn, that seems so easy. Whether it's tribute summoning or just ramming it into something else, that seems way too easy. That's a problem.
Ooh.
But then you go get. So all it takes. And then we get into the classic chicken or the egg, right? All it takes is for certain combos or certain cards to be too good, and this is just 3 more copies of that. If you run what's the silver bullet strategy, like the card that specifically poses somebody else's deck, and you have basically 3 copies of it with this. Assuming the cost is easy to pay, and I think.
Wait, do they get to look?
Dilemma is, do they get rid of the problematic?
Okay, yeah, they got to look. Fuck. I should have just activated. I'm an idiot.
Doing this video, Yu-Gi-Oh is done both. So I can't just lean on a consistent strategy around the ban list. Because why would that be useful?
Reading comprehension, baby.
Be something.
Anyway, yeah, they're on fucking mermails.
3 of it stayed legal. You restricted this. I think that we talked about restricted and how it does it better for some things. I think it makes it better for tuners. Sense. Because the consistency is the primary problem. But you don't want things to happen ever. Because, settling combos is cool. But yeah. So restricting might be an okay solution for this. Easy requirement to, I think, and then you just always have whatever is currently busted. Why would decks not play this? They literally didn't have a creature to match. That doesn't seem like this game seems like there are things that are very and that creatures are a big part of it. Every deck creatures, especially those that have special particular matchups that are good or just great combo potential. At some point, this got banned. I could see this staying restricted. I actually think restricted does a lot for this, but eternal format, lifetime stuff, it would take up a spot in so many decks for so long. How are they going to sell new cards? So, sure, let's say that this got banned.
You believe me if I told you that's going added this card.
Okay.
Would you believe me if I told you the digital print of this card said any time a monster is said to the print card, not just once.
What? It stayed on the field? It was continuous?
So the effect lingered.
Okay, so during that turn, every time... What? What? Okay, obviously that got changed. Obviously that was not okay. Wow.
Yeah. So, the original printing of Last Will, Japan, because obviously everything comes out of Japan, anywhere else, that is how Last Will functioned. And that arguably made Last Will, maybe in its pre-errata form, maybe the most broken Yu-Gi-Oh card ever. So much so that it made Exodia a tier 0 deck, and it was literally solitary, because it was so easy to assemble the 5 pieces of Exodia and just kill your opponent, because of the fact that Last Will was worded this way and in 3 copies. And so they learned their lesson before they brought Last Will to the rest of us and gave it this once per turn, only once, I should say, use of the Last Will. But even in this erratic state that you were seeing Last Will, which for a lot of us is how we interpreted the card, because we didn't know that it worked like that at the time, and Asian characters. Last Will, you are correct, banned, and is still banned to this day, because this card just enables way too much. It is just, like you said, eternal format. It's the age-old question: why would you not play this card? And especially as time has gone on, and there are some things about you still yet to learn that are a bit more broken over time. Being able to just tutor your deck for anything, and not anything, there's a slight restriction on it, but for the most part, that awesome. You're able to face the world is your oyster with Last Will. And similar to Graceful Charity, it didn't get banned immediately. It was around for a format of 2, and then they finally banned it, and double banned this for probably 20 years. So.
Last Will. I wonder if anybody would use some copies of Last Will in their Last Will.
Maybe I should consider it. Maybe. That'd be funny. That'd be cute. Alright, let's go on to a trap card.
We really should just turn this off.
Why is this funny? I think it's funny to me. Trap card. Tribute 1 dark monster with 1,000 or less attack. Check.
Look, there's a cost! Cost!
Yep, this is fine. Probably. I don't need to read it. Nothing bad ever came of this. Okay. Check all monsters on your opponent's side of the field. Check them. The opponent's hand. What? And all cards they draw till the end of the 3rd turn after this card's activation. What? For all monsters with. What does check your opponent's stuff mean?
It means they reveal.
Oh, so it's busted! We have to talk about this? Revealing cards at the end of the f***ing world and you... We have to talk about this?
Well, fuck.
Sorry. But it's not free! It's not free!
Tribute a dark monster with 1,000 attack or less attack. So, there are no good dark monsters to play with 1,000 attack or less. Maybe this is unplayable. That doesn't seem very likely. I bet there's even some that like things happen for you. I bet you can even turn it into a positive. That's my assumption. Yeah, I'm gonna say right now. I bet that when it dies, oh, wait, second hand. Oh no!
Yo, I got another card.
What a cost! Dear Lord, how will I financially recover from this? I didn't. Okay, let's try to calm down.
I bought a 3
times I got burned here.
I could be baiting you.
Actually, I've more than bought a 3 at this point.
Outside the field, their opponent's hand, and all the cards they draw. So you see their draws, right? Whether it's a monster or not, you have to stack checking means hey, show me that. Show me that card you drew. Is that
That's exactly what it sounds like.
Is that a card? Is that a monster? They have
Despite the atrocious misplay I just did, I do actually know what Mermails does. It's just that card. I have never read it. Out of all the cards, I've never played the deck. Obviously, that should be obvious.
Okay, destroy all monsters. Like, so does that mean if they draw it, you discard it? Check all monsters on your opponent's side, your opponent's hand, and your And what the opponent draws free until the third turn after the activation turn. So if they are just pulling high and just draw just their one card turn, 3 turns in a row, and it's 1,500 or less monsters. Dead. Oh, that feels good. Oh, that's great. And it's a paper game, so, you know, if you just shuffle badly, who knows what can happen. It sounds horrible. It sounds so disgusting. Oh my goodness. And that's
Seems like you would love this card. Go right at home.
I am not a monster. Just I don't even wanna be like, show me your draw. What's the fun in that? Is there anything better in card games than you draw that card and peek at the card? It is the card, but it needs one more piece to go right. The opponent has to walk into it. They have to not be expected.
Why is it taking them so long to respond? Their board is literally fucking unbreakable right now. They've got totally, I assume, infinite imperm, all the fucking whatevers.
Is there anything better than that in all of card games? I say no. And can that card happen? Crush card virus? Sticking the middle finger in your face? No! It's horrible! It's a disgusting design. Ban.
I like how you're so vehemently against this, but Imperial Order is fine.
I am a control player, but I don't take their draw step. You draw your card.
You're
No. You draw your card, I draw mine. My cards beat yours. I can take credit for that. If I play a card that takes draw step, and you just don't get any, then what have I done? I haven't earned.
To play good, honest.
I haven't earned shit in that scenario. I don't deserve to call myself a winner in that scenario.
Let me throw a wrench in.
Great.
I mean, it's bad. Fine. What if I told you this was a price card? So the only way to acquire it was by winning it.
Holding my notebook. I threw it at the wall.
I can hear that through the mic.
That's what I did. But I'm not dignifying that with a response.
I'm just curious.
That's
What
disgusting.
if I told you this is? What if I told you this is one of the most popular cards in the end? That's the way you're just.
It explains why they pushed the hell out of it, right? It explains why they did it. Okay. When you have items tied to it, you want the card to be powerful. You want it to play.
And the anime was even more fun.
Yeah, you want it to have an effect. And it does. I'm affected. At this
Wow.
I'm affected. I'm never going to affect it.
You're offended by this card's presence.
And if you tell me this is fine and nobody bats an eye at this, I'm just... What am my life? Why am I here?
Alright. Final answer. Copy. This card's at the copy.
No.
And after you're expanded around it, you got it. When you come to Vegas,
You owe me a drink for that. Oh my god.
let's talk about Crush Card. I was not lying when I said that this card was more broken than the anime. In the anime, it immediately took every card in your opponent's deck under full attack and sent it. And then it just continued checking your draws. But it's the anime. Like, they make everything. But Crush Card Virus was in fact a prize card for winning, the equivalent of Magic the Gathering. We called them, at the time they're called SJC, Show Me the Go Championships. And this was the only way to get Crush Card Virus. And this was one of the most broken cards they had ever printed at this time. And it cost several $1,000s because there were very few copies of it. The people who had these copies basically would go on to win any tournament they competed in, because if they saw this card, they basically won the game, because there was essentially no way to play against this. If your opponent goes turn 1, set a Dark Monster, that Crush card, you may lose, because you're probably not. Something you may have missed is that it also will continue to check cards that are drawn off artifacts, so if you were to go Crystal Charity after Crush card, all those cards get checked after Crush card as well.
Yeah.
Just a miserable miserable card to play against, and it was a card that was played when the Dark Armor Dragon deck was still around, so that was expensive. So, and what happened was, it was a prize card for a while. They eventually gave this card its first actual print, or first, I should say, publicly accessible in a side product. And it was extremely short printed, really hard to get, but everyone wanted it because Crush Cards was broken. And so those copies ended up going for several $100s, and then they banned it after the accident. Then, several years later, similar to a lot of cards, I think Crush Cards very iconic. They kind of wanted to errata this so that playable. They errated it, the effect was really, really bad. It had a major downside in the errata, so now it's totally fun.
What a toxic environment they created. Legitimately. Player abuse. Like, you guys are all wrong. Like, everybody still played the game through this. You're probably owed some form of a nice friendly booster pack. All right, you are probably owed something for doing this. All right, it sounds like the worst environment I've ever heard of created by a card game creator. It sounds. I would.
And you play Magic.
When was this?
2007.
If this happened today, the internet, like, YouTube roast this so hard. The internet would be absolutely cooking. I can't even. I can't believe it happened. The prize card thing sounds egregious.
Yeah, there was several. I would say every prize card during this time, they would have one prize card per year, so like per tournament cycle, and all the prize cards at the time were on this power level of crazy. I think Crush Card was probably the biggest offender, but all of them were extremely powerful. And they eventually stopped doing that because people, I think, were getting really upset by the fact. So now all the prize cards are like symbolic. They're all bad. There hasn't really been a prize card. That's probably good.
Yeah. Expensive cards, like really rare editions of cards, are totally fine. As long as you can still get the card, something equivalent to the card, something on the power level, like, of the card, like either the exact card or a very suitable replacement for your deck at a reasonable price, in a product that people have access to. The idea of giving an Omega level S tier card only to full tournaments is the nastiest rich get richer I think I've ever heard of in a card.
Yeah, it was, and that's exactly how it was. It literally, the teams that won these would just pass them around and they just kept. It was exactly like that.
Disgusting. I did disgusting. This is my
Well, we're not done with the video yet, so we'll see if it's the worst thing you've ever seen. Let's see what you think about this card.
Soul Charge is a spell, and it says target any number of monsters in your graveyard and special summon them. If you do, you 1,000 life points for each monster summoned by the effect. So what? You cannot conduct your battle phase. The turn you activate this card, you only activate Soul Charge one Soul Charge per turn. Okay, if you draw multiple of these, you can only play one. Does it stay on the field to be activated once each turn? No. It's really just saying if you draw multiples, you can only play it once.
You can see they've learned their lesson with open cards.
Lose 1,000 life points, whatever. You're using one card to get a number of threats, and your deck is probably built to take advantage of them. You cannot conduct your battle phase. What is the cost of that? At this point, you're lowering your life total significantly. You can't attack to win. That's what I'm getting from that. Is that the only way to win? No. Can you combo without the battle phase? Outside the battle phase? Or are there monsters that you bring out? Those monsters maybe have the text that the opponent skips their battle phase, so it's not like you actually pay. I mean, every deck uses the graveyard. Graveyard is the second hand. Let's get to multiple things. Okay, so, but it doesn't say when you have to play this. So, you can play this after your battle phase, right?
No. If you activate this card, you can't conduct your battle phase, so if you conduct your battle phase, you cannot activate this card.
Good to know.
Wishful thinking, though, I will say.
I'm just trying to scam. scamming here, baby. So, let's see. One card that completely rejuvenates your board. Be after a bit of an attrition battle or sacrificing everything for value. Don't get to attack with those things, but you do have them back. Go to the opponent's turn, and they kill you. You still get all these effects. Like, there's all these effects from the monsters entering the battlefield. Some of them can destroy stuff. And I'm sure that you can use the effects to leave yourself in a better position. And this is card advantage, and it is selection. You don't have to get everything you choose. You can get one thing, if one thing's all you think you can afford, it can be the best thing. Or you can get three things and say, go ahead, opponent, what you got? If I come back to my turn, I've got monsters where you only had one card. Seems really good. Is it busted? The reason a deck wouldn't play this, battle phase is the thing, right? It's basically giving up is your battle phase so important to the game that it's this card at reasonable cost. And then there are even other cards that don't, like, that are fine to just give your battle phase maybe benefit you somehow and give you some kind of purpose. That seems like a design space that they can play it on.
How this made Magic? There's a zero cost rate any number of things back in the graveyard.
Oh, busted! We did this for 6 mana with a card called Command the Dreadhorde.
Bollocks.
And everything has summoning sickness. So, you know what? Also, on turn 1, you don't have a battle phase, right? So you can, like, move for value and play this on turn 1. You lost nothing. Yeah, so, like, in which case you really want on turn 1. Which means that you gotta run 3. Which means that you maximize, right? And then you restrict it. But then they have the 1. And people are like, oh god, they have the 1. How lucky! I hate this game. This gets bad. I'm trying to think of now reasons. You don't play it, and it is the battle-based thing, and the more like in Magic, it would be busted. Here, seems really good. And really good. There's more uses for creatures. Battle-based. Why would you not run this? I don't have a good reason. I don't have one. If everything has stuff in their card, the only reason not to run this is a battle-based.
By the way, this guy can attack twice. It's game.
From those things that
Just in case you guys didn't read.
Attack zone. So yeah, this is crazy. This is crazy.
Bah.
Okay. Ban Soul Charge. Yeah, get out.
It's funny how you like laid
Unfortunate
out
matchup, honestly.
Because you
Alright,
are correct.
last but not least.
They limited it, and it was really annoying at one. It's like, oh great, they had the one Soul Charge, and they finally did. As far as been banned. Soul Charge. There is a bit of context missing for you because you don't have a full grasp of all the summoning mechanics in Yu-Gi-Oh! So that's like another way to take advantage of Soul Charge. But even just on the surface level, you can throw all of your monsters into your opponent's stuff, just willy-nilly. You throw your monsters into their trap cards, into whatever they have. Everything, like the dust settles, you're both on super low resources, you've got 1 cards in hand each, and then you just drop Soul Charge and bring back 5 monsters, and they lose the game! Because why the hell not?
Fucking Pikachu.
You have 5 guys up. This card is so frustrating against, because just playing against your opponent and you're like tactically trying to like respond to everything you got, and at the end of it all they just drop Soul Charge and they just bring it all back, and everything you did was just an incredibly frustrating card, extremely powerful. Some people still don't know how they print. This is another ending. People don't know how they ever printed this card, and it's been banned for almost a decade now, I'd say, but just incredibly useful. And the more videos, I think the more you're going to be back and understand why this card is just so good.
Well, thank you for having the faith to give it to me without even having full context, because
I think even without the rest of the context, people who are watching, you know, like all the different other summoning mechanics in the extra, right? You don't need, like, just on the surface, bringing back 5 things for 1 card and paying 5,000 life points. You're probably just going to win the game anyway. Like you said, all the on-summon effects, all the different other things that you remember, everything in Yu-Gi-Oh! Has taunt, so if your opponent wants to kill you, they have to get you 5 monsters to do anything, right? It's just, there's like no downside. The worst downside is if you're low life point situation and you can't pay for the card. So much so that the formats that Soul Charge was in, people really tried to get their opponent's life points down as quickly as possible so that Soul Charge became a dead drop. That's just kind of the way you had to play it. Yeah, just incredibly insane. Alright, but 2 left. Let's see. I can't wait to see. 6th Sense. Spoilers!
one of the great twist movies of all time, Sixth Sense. I was there. I was there in the theater. They were like, I was there.
Showing your age.
Yeah, well, age reveal. That one a secret. Doesn't need a virus to know that one. Alright, trap card. Declare 2 numbers from 1 to 6. Then your opponent rolls a 6-sided die. Oh, I love where this is going all the way.
Okay.
And if the result is one of the numbers you declared, you draw that many cards. Otherwise, you send a number of cards from the top of your deck, graveyard equal to declare numbers, so you declare 5 and 6. Then your opponent rolls a 6-sided die, and if it is a 5 or a 6, you win the game. And if it's not a 5 or a 6, you might win the game. You just have a lot of extra resources. You're just cooking.
Fair enough.
There's no downside. Why is there no downside? Why?
What do you mean there's no downside? You can kill cards at the top of your deck to the graveyard.
Downside. No downside in Yu-Gi-Oh! For the Sixth Sense.
I think we've broken it.
Dude, let's go deep. Let's go deep. Let's go deep. The Dark Arm Dragon might not have exactly three dark monsters if you don't win the Gyro. Soul Charge might only have 7 targets. Oh my god. This sounds like insane. Like, if you hit, this sounds like you shouldn't lose. That's what it sounds like.
Okay.
And that's if you hit the card draw. And if you don't hit the card draw, all you need are cards in the deck that take advantage of the graveyard, which I am seeing it, man. I'm feeling it. Every deck has. Nobody sees the downside to this card. Not only that, each time you do it, like, the spirit of the card doesn't work. Declare 2 numbers from 1 to 6. I guess now. I'm really not. Oh, I haven't declared 1 or 2 today. Let's try. Just say 5 or 6 on the card. What is the point?
Who gives a shit about Crimson Dragon?
Like, it's frustrating that they exist in their form, right? It's almost embarrassing they exist in their form, to be honest.
They're disrespecting the play.
Yes! It's so that when some new player sits down and is like, well, I'm crazy my lucky number, we all laugh at them.
No.
Kid good scrub. Not understand anything about our game. And that's just a great idea.
Maybe you want to mill 6. Maybe you want to mill 6.
Maybe you do. Yeah. Maybe you don't want to mill 6. Oh no. That loses you the game. Great. I can't even imagine this in multiples. What? Damn it. That's it. Nobody wants to do this forever. There's no reason to deck with
Talk about 6 seconds. It's funny you said I can't imagine this in multiples, because neither can we. Because when they announced they were doing this card, they limited it to 4. Boom. This card was initially released in Japan a long time ago, on Japan Never. All the reasons you mentioned, this card is absolutely batshit nuts. And then, for whatever reason, in 2014, they decided, you know what, we should put 6 cents in the set. And in true good product design form, they made it an extremely short printed card that was really hard to get. It was a common though, like a higher one. Get a little closer. But at least they had the foresight to not.
Memento, huh?
So they limited it at least so that one copy.
They probably should have made it only for tournament. That's what I'm seeing.
It just so happened during this time that the best deck by a mile was a deck that played out of the graveyard. So, yeah, this card very quickly made its way on the ban list, and from there it should forever stay, because I do not know what else to say about this card. I don't know what. Literally draw 5 or 6 cards with mono ban, sure. Like, why not? Why not? Why not?
You guys are great. I appreciate that there is just absolute crazy here. I've seen some crazy. But now at least you can write an article to how we got there. What is the article of how we got here for this card? I have no idea.
You want to know the article? The article is, what card can we put in the set to sell the set so we can make a lot of money? That's the article.
Yes. Money is the article. Just a dollar sign.
Yep.
God.
Yep. And speaking of which, here.
Speaking of a dollar sign, huh? Chaos Emperor Dragon. Enjoy. No. And I thought it said envoy of the end.
Nice.
Envoy of the end.
That's one.
Yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 level monster, attack 3000, defense 2500. Why do I even read the levels? I'm starting to learn if I actually read the rest of it, you don't even, like, ever have to care. Let's see.
Interesting that you're finally starting to pick up on. You're learning.
This card cannot be normal.
For what it's worth, Baron doesn't even read the stats. He can have 8,000 attack, he won't even know. He just straight up looks it.
It's getting there. This card cannot be normal summon. Whoa, you don't say. This card cannot be normal summon reset. This card can only special summon by removing from play 1 light and 1 dark monster in your graveyard. Okay. By paying 1,000 life points, send all cards in both players' hands and on the field to the graveyard. Like 300 points of damage to your opponent's life points for each card that is sent to the graveyard by this effect. 300 points of damage to your opponent's life points for each card that is sent to the card by this effect. Or is it 2 go to their dome? Or 4 cards that go to your figure go to their dome. So,
Dang.
figure out a way to get like your whole deck on the battlefield and they die. It's a combo finisher that doesn't need
Oh
to
dang. I am this.
Stages of the game and do this. Great. Alright, you have to have 1 light and 1 dark monster in the graveyard, and that's the only way to play this. From everything I'm getting, that cost might as well be free. I'm paying 1,000 life points, that is not much. Send all cards in both players' hands. Okay, all you have to do is draw your deck, and you win the game. Obviously, if you draw your deck, you should win the game. But there's usually some kind of a hoop to jump through.
Here's the thing, I actually don't care. They surrendered.
And
They knew I didn't care.
They contributed to this. They drew a bunch of cards, they died. Man, I'm trying to think of when you get this off on, let's say, turn 2. Let's be conservative here. Like, how much is it doing just on its own? How much damage? And that's kind of hard to gauge having now played a game. But just kind of